Hey guys, it's Joanie from simplelivingmama.com, and in today's video we are going to do a what's for dinner. So the first dinner that I'm showing you guys, I didn't show the prep part, but we are having red beans and rice with sausage over rice. This was cooked up in my crock pot. I will have the recipe linked down below if you're interested. It's one of our favorites, and it is just so good and pretty easy to make in the slow cooker. The next recipe I'm going to show you is a tortellini bake. This was actually the first time that I ever made this. So for this recipe, you're going to need some ground beef, cream cheese, tortellini, mozzarella, pasta sauce, and then some of those seasonings, garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. First thing we're going to do is brown up that ground beef. My daughter is helping me out with this one. So the recipe only calls for a pound of ground beef. I ended up just using this entire 3-pound chub of beef, and it turned out okay. So we're going to go ahead and brown that up. Now we're going to go ahead and open up that cream cheese and then get it cubed up to go in with our drained ground beef. While that ground beef finishes up, we are going to boil our cheese tortellini and then add some seasonings to the ground beef. I'm putting in the Italian seasoning, the garlic powder, and the onion powder. And then next I will add in the pasta sauce and the cream cheese. Last steps are to add the ground beef pasta sauce mixture to a greased casserole dish, and then we're going to add in our tortellini, mix everything up really well, and then top with a bunch of mozzarella cheese. I'm going to pop that in the oven and let it bake for about 15 minutes, just until that cheese gets nice and melted and bubbly and good, and then it will be ready to serve. next meal that we are going to make is a zeppa Tuscana meal. It's a soup without the kale because my Walmart was out of kale, so it's just basically going to be sausage and potato soup, but it still turns out really well. Minimal ingredients are needed. Just Italian sausage, onion, potatoes, heavy whipping cream, and then some seasonings. I'm just using garlic powder, onion powder, and some of that chicken bouillon. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop up an onion. I'm making this one in my pressure cooker, so it makes it pretty easy to do. So we're going to chop up our onion, and then we're going to add a little bit of oil to the pressure cooker and saute the onions directly in the pressure cooker. Now we're going to add our Italian sausage to the pot, and we're going to brown that up before we start chopping up our potatoes and adding everything else. Now that the Italian sausage is browned, I'm going to add in all of our chopped potatoes, and then I'm going to add in about 6 cups of water along with all of the seasonings, and then I'm going to pressure cook that for only about 8 minutes because the only thing we need to do is soften up those potatoes. Before serving, I add in the heavy whipping cream, stir it all up, and then serve it alongside some rolls. Okay, this last recipe couldn't be simpler. It is just baked chicken drumsticks. So I'm going to start out by marinating the chicken drumsticks. I'm using this Lawry's herb and garlic marinade. That's our favorite. I'm going to serve it up with just some Uncle Ben's ready rice. That's not our favorite, but it's what I had on hand and it was easy. So that is one of the things that we're going to have with this recipe. So first I'm going to put all of the chicken drumsticks in a big gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and then I'm going to pour the marinade over that, swish it all around, and put it back in the fridge and let it marinate for a couple of hours before I get ready to bake it in the oven. Now that it's been a couple of hours, I'm going to put all of the chicken drumsticks in a foil-lined baking dish, and then I'm going to bake them in the oven at 425 degrees for 45 minutes, turning once halfway through. It's that simple. This is one of my kids' favorite dishes. It's cheap, it's good, and for this particular dinner, I served it up with that ready rice and then some green beans. And that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.